that it's more about enforcement, not about coming out with new rules, and it should be very specific action, not largely conduct of any specific fund manager should be taken, not for the entire sector. Sachin Shah is here with us from MK Global. Sachin, I'm looking at your portfolios right now, and interestingly, some of your portfolio top stocks are from the pharma API space, which is the hot favorite of the market right now, be it Laurus, be it Divi's, etc. Solid companies. Tell us what's your understanding on the earnings profile versus the valuations some of these names are now trading at because they have caught market fancy.
Sure. Thank you so much for having me on your show. As you must have already seen that we have a fairly decent allocation to the pharma sector, and to be very frank and honest with you, we've had these allocations for a while now. Each of these stocks have been in our portfolio for more than 2 to 3 years. In fact, Divi's has been there for more than 5 years. And even Laurus Labs and Suven Pharma, both of them have been with us for more than a couple of years now. So the point here is that we've been very, very constructive on each of these businesses. Basically, these are very, very unique opportunities with each of these businesses, be it contract research and manufacturing, CRAMS business, specialty chemicals, specialty API drugs that they do. And the kind of the scalability opportunity that these businesses offer is humongous in the global markets. We have also seen that in the last 2-3 years, barring the last 6 months, previously, if you see the calendar year 2018, 2019, the pharma sector was trading at very, very low valuations, whereas the underlying business trends were actually going in a very, very positive direction. And a lot of that seems to be now accelerating post-COVID. Some of these businesses have actually done very well. Not only that, I think the strategy of global majors of de-risking from the Chinese manufacturing and looking at alternatives. So particularly in this space, the API space and some of this contract research and manufacturing space, Indian companies have already established themselves very well for the last few decades, I would say, or at least last 10 years or so. They have demonstrated that they have the capabilities, they have the scalability to deliver to the global demands. From that perspective, Indian pharmaceutical industry has a huge opportunity, and we have seen, if you see the last quarter results of some of these companies, they were definitely very, very strong, and management commentary also for each of these businesses is again very, very constructive going ahead for at least next 4 to 6 quarters, which is where they have a very strong visibility. But not only that, if you will talk to each of these managements, they will tell you that the kind of the opportunities that they see over the next 3 to 5 years, I think they have not even scratched their surface at this point in time. So we continue to remain very, very constructive on each of these names, and that's why they have become top holdings in our portfolios, also because of the stock price performance in the last 6 months. As you must have seen, that in the last 6 months, particularly the post-COVID environment, pharma sector has been the best performing sector for multiple reasons.
Right. Let's talk about Reliance Industries, Sachin. Not on the stock, but I want to understand how you are reading the Reliance retail opportunity. Jio platform, we all know what happened, unprecedented flurry of activity on fundraising side. Now Reliance Retail, third check has come in today. How do you value retail side of the business, or have you looked at that closely?
Well, again, one of our top holdings in our PMS is Reliance Industries, and clearly one of the big reasons that we own this business was that obviously the new generation businesses that they have entered, and they have been in this business for more than 5 years now, or probably even longer, but now they get to a very different scale. And to my mind, the way they are integrating these businesses, both on the Jio side and also on the retail side, that is something which is like almost like a paradigm shift in the business. the way they are going to, the kind of the services that they will offer to the consumer. Because if today, if you think from a consumer's perspective, he spends a lot of time digital, and offering the retail services on a digital platform, I think that integration, the way Reliance has done it, I think it's an amazingly paradigm shift. And I think from that perspective, I mean, still they haven't yet scratched the surface. So I think we are yet to see a very big scalability on both the businesses over the next 3 to 5 years, I guess.
How are you playing some of these smaller manufacturing companies, APL Apollos, Sundaram Fasteners of the world, input providers to overall larger infrastructure / manufacturing OEM plays? How are these guys navigating this slowdown patch?
Yes, Ajay. So again, very interestingly, market is actually a great leveler, as we have always seen. 2018 and 2019, 2 calendar years, we saw how the mid cap and the small caps had lost significant amount of their valuations, to the extent that the gap had between the large caps and the mid and the small caps was so large that it was very difficult to believe. And now we are seeing that in this post-COVID environment, again, the mid caps and the small caps have started doing much better than some of the large cap companies. So one is obviously the valuations are catching up with the mean. That's one. But in terms of the business performances also, again, 2 plays over there. One is a national play, because as we know today, the rural part of the India is actually doing much better. So companies that could adapt themselves, where they could provide their products or services to the rural side of the India or to the tier 2, tier 3 cities in the country, have actually been able to come back much better, and that is where companies like APL Apollo come into play. There's another thing which is again on the auto ancillary front, which you mentioned, one of the names, Sundaram Fasteners. So there again, it's also a kind of an auto global play, because again they can service a large global players, be it in North America, European companies, and this Sundaram Fasteners has nearly 1,200 crore plus kind of export turnover for last 3-4 years now. And the kind of the relationships, the kind of the business that they have built with some of the global autos like the General Motors, Cummins, Fords of the world, I think they have a very huge opportunity again as more businesses start looking at alternatives from the China sourcing.
Very quickly, Sachin, wanted to understand 1 or 2 year forward earnings growth of both these portfolio of yours. After the pandemic, the fresh numbers, what kind of earnings growth have you factored in for both these portfolios 2 year far out?
Well, my sense is that FY21 is going to be a lot of mixed bag, because some of the businesses which are more domestic facing, there the growth may not be there. In fact, there may be some kind of degrowth in FY21. But the export-oriented businesses like the pharma space and the CRAM space and the specialty chemical space, they will have exceedingly good growth even in FY21. But FY22 and FY23, we expect that a lot of these businesses will have a very nice EBITDA and a bottom line growth, even if the top line grows at just about high single digit. The reason being that most of these companies, what we are seeing is that the kind of the cost saving measures that they have enforced in this last 6 months, I think they are going to play out very strongly in the next financial year, because as the top line comes in, the cost will not come back as fast, and that will really percolate down to the bottom line in terms of the profit growth being much stronger than the top line growth. So my sense is FY22 and FY23 to expect growth anywhere between 15% to 25% will not be very unrealistic.
Probably that is the reason why some of these stocks are very resilient in the market compared to overall general consensus. Thanks very much for your time, Sachin. That was Sachin Shah.
Thank you.
Time for a very
Thank
short
you.
break. More news and analysis on the other side.